जयधारी माँ। हर जीवन अनेक प्रकार के रंगों से भरा हुआ है। बातचीत वही रंग बांटेगी आप सबके साथ। हम सब एक हैं, बस सोच अलग अलग है। बटोर लीजिए उन रंगों को, जो भी आप चाहें इस बातचीत से, और ढाल लीजिए अपनी सोच में। यही मकसद है इस बातचीत का। आइए मिलते हैं अपने प्यारे से मेहमान से। अतिथि देवो भव।
जयधारी माँ, जयधारी माँ, सतनाम बाई गुरु जी। आज के जो हमारे अतिथि हैं, उनके लिए उनको जाना पढ़ा देखा, कुछ शब्द मन में आ रहे। बरकत, रज, जो भी करते हैं रज के करते हैं, और परमात्मा उनको बरकत देते हैं। उनके पास एक मैजिक इंग्रेडिएंट है, उसका नाम है सिर्फ प्यार। वो मैजिक इंग्रेडिएंट हर चीज में डालते हैं। उनको अहंकार से डर लगता है, और जो उनके हाथों में हुनर है वो परमात्मा की कृपा है, और उनके बड़ों का आशीर्वाद और प्यार है। आज का बातचीत उसी के बारे में है। उनको मिलने से पहले आइए उन पर एक वीडियो देखते हैं। जय थारी माँ सतनाम वाहे गुरु जी.
No, my Guruji. Hi everyone.
Very welcome जी. Very welcome. Very
Hello,
welcome.
Vikas. Hello, Vikas.
Hi, Nidhi ji. Thank you so much. This is such an honor for me. Sorry,
हाँ
अभी मैं
जी.
video देखा तो it's like a whole life flash in front of you.
Yes. हाँ
Yeah.
जी.
Thank you very much for giving me that moment.
हाँ जी.
Wonderful.
आपने लाइफ की बात करी है. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਦੇ blessed buried seed ਹੈਗੇ ਸੀ. Blessed buried seed, nurtured and nourished by them. How does it feel? You've been nurtured and nourished by them, by grace.
I just feel I got lucky. कुछ लिखा हुआ था किस्मत में कि जो दरवाजा बंद हुआ उसके बदले 10 दरवाजे खुल गए and I kept walking. I don't know how to explain this and many people ask me this on daily basis. How did this happen? I said I have no idea. The day I'll take credit for this will all go away.
How wonderful. You know what? You're a son of my friend, Vikas. You're my
Yes, I know
friend's
that.
son. Your mom and I have belonged to the same college. Same NCC. I never realized that you are a son of such a proud mother who happens to be my college friend.
बचपन यही बीता था कि डॉक्टर किरण बेदी मेरे कॉलेज की मेरी क्लासमेट है.
The more I read about you, the more I felt happy about Amritsar.
It's true actually. You know, sometimes what happens ki you put the hyphenation too much. I feel that when you get a global recognition, you start hyphenating your name. In New York based, you just don't want to do anything else. I just
Yeah.
feel that from Amritsar, no, and I felt कि बहुत ज़रूरी है for me to
Because we're having problems with your
हाँ जी.
internet connection.
थोड़ा सा इंटरनेट का इशू है. आप सब जुड़े रहिए.
हाँ जी.
We'll जी आ गए.
But internet connection is not so good, Vikas.
कोई गल नहीं.
मेरा वाला
हाँ.
कुछ कर सकते हो.
Which चले जाता है. It goes away in between, and you then the picture freezes up. It just freezes up. I don't know why it's happened.
सॉरी ये तो होटल में हूँ मैं रेस्टोरेंट में हूँ यहाँ पे
आ गई हो जी. आ गई हो.
सॉरी
नहीं जी कोई गल नहीं. अच्छा ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਰਨੀ बताओ जी अपनी. You say you are over disciplined. Over disciplined. That's got you here. You're over disciplined. थोड़ा जिहा सिग्नल सानू
You having problems with the signal, Vikas? Which city are you in?
दुबई मम्मी.
Dubai. I see. So what happens with your?
Should we request him to reconnect?
Would you like to reconnect, Vikas? Would you like to reconnect, Chef Vikas?
Can I request the team to get Vikasji to reconnect? Yes.
Till then,
जी.
can we have Vikas's mother? Because mother, if she's in Amritsar, and let's bring the mother if we can.
Okay, this looks perfect to me now.
हाँ जी, this is perfect. हाँ जी.
Sorry.
नहीं जी, शुक्र. हाँ जी. Over disciplined. क्योंकि
I started working very early in life. So at 17 I was full-fledged working person. Went to college, worked a lot there. So एक चीज मुझे लगा कि जो फर्क पड़ता है इंसान को कि the word talent is overused word. I feel that people say I'm very talented. it's always the disciplinary people who win actually. जिनको समय की कदर होती है वो समय को वेस्ट नहीं करते, वो सीखते रहते हैं कुछ ना कुछ. They also inspired the team around them कि time is everything, especially in the cooking world. It is only about timing.
Yes.
आप जितना मर्जी रेस्टोरेंट सजा लो, सब कुछ करो, till you don't get things in time perfectly done, you don't care about, you destroy their experiences. और डेडलाइंस इतनी ज़्यादा because you work in so many time zones. और अगर
Yes.
इतना डिसिप्लिन नहीं होगा तो there is a possibility that keep sleeping all the time.
विकास जी,
Vikas, tell us, maybe, Saina, hold on. Vikas, tell us about your first gift you got. I love reading this book of yours, Barkat. बहुत सोनी किताब, बहुत सोनी तरह लिखी. You written it beautifully.
Thank you.
बहुत बढ़िया. It's a lovely book. And I just couldn't put it down from one first word reading till the last word. You've spoken in this book. It's a beautiful word. And I love the way you got the first prize, which you loved. What is the word? I don't want to complete the sentence. The blue what?
The blue tandoor.
Yes.
तो बस अड्डा जो है अमृतसर का बस स्टैंड, उसके सामने तंदूर मिलते हैं, हाथ से बनाते हैं.
That's right.
There's a whole people who sit there, local, they are native people, and they
Yes.
make this tandoor. और वो छोटा सा तंदूर became like your first important introduction to the cooking world.
That's right.
चूल्हे वगैरह तो देखे हुए थे हमने, पर तंदूर पे काम करना बहुत अजीब था मेरे लिए. And I was very passionate about it because मकबूल रोड पे जो कुलचा वाला है, वहाँ पे I used to be always, क्योंकि सेंट फ्रांसिस स्कूल से वापस आना तो वही रास्ते से आते थे हम लोग. तो that became very important place for me. एक तंदूर मुझे लगता है कि it really helped me for my determination and pride. कि जब everybody is looking to play with football or badminton rackets, you figured out कि ये उनसे कम नहीं है. And it needs a lot of hard work to master tandoor.
It's amazing. Children get toys. Children get some like a car or a cricket bat. You got a tandoor. Why? Why did you get a tandoor?
I was very passionate about cooking, and my grandmother was like a great cook, amazing, and she really pushed me to follow what I feel is right. She's saying eventually you have to make your heart happy. I just feel that. और उसके लिए मुझे लगा कि एक पापा का literally एक approval. At that time you're talking about 1980s. Amritsar was going through a huge transition of the riots happening and emergencies. उस टाइम पे आपको लगता नहीं था कि as kids living in that time that anybody would appreciate arts in that way. सबको था कि शहर से बाहर निकल जाए. We know so many people who said leave the city, and वहाँ पे, and of course we are talking about such an early time where if a boy cooks, he's really looked down upon a lot. And I think तभी मेरी thick skin भी हो गई थी because you heard every word said about you कि आपको रोटियां बनानी पसंद थी.
Were you born or were you groomed? I've seen your grandmother's role, amazing. Were you born? I think some sanskar and some grooming. Tell me, how much was the birth? How much was the grooming?
So very beginning, I saw my mother's determination and dedication to me. मैंने कभी नहीं देखा था ये कि I was lazy kid in a way that I did not even want to have all what my mother went through to put me back to my feet. It's actually epic. मम्मा की sacrifice, मम्मा की dedication, I've never seen something like that. Maybe सबके साथ होता था, पर मेरे पास तो एक ही माँ है. So I felt that really put a new perspective in my mind that if you are not going to work hard, if you're not going to rise every time you're going to fall, you will never be able to make it. And she will always message me sometimes. तब हाथ से चिट्ठियाँ लिखते थे अमेरिका में. She used to always say, I want to see my son number one. I don't know why she would keep writing that to me. I was still struggling on the very basic level. But mama की चिट्ठी, I want my son to be number one. I still save everything.
No, your mom actually made you a warrior.
Yeah, totally. My mom herself is a warrior.
Yes. What makes you say that?
I see my mom rising against all the adversities because we saw her work so hard for the Lawrence Garden, and people think कि अगर छोटा सा business है तो बच्चे क्या करेंगे? बच्चों के लिए वो ट्रेनिंग ग्राउंड है. बच्चों के लिए वो ट्रेनिंग, कोई कॉलेज की डिग्री, कोई भी इंस्टीट्यूट आपको सिखा नहीं सकता जो आपका घर का बिजनेस सिखा सकता है. एंड व्हाट आई लर्न फ्रॉम माय मॉम वाज एब्सोल्युटली एपिक. How she'll deal with the women, how she'll deal with the staff, how she will make her, cost cutting is a very important part of small businesses, in every business. and how she'll go to mandi herself every morning. That discipline. गर्मी में इतनी धूप है और मम्मा लगे हुए हैं कि नहीं, किटी पार्टी अभी आंटियों की, and I have to be here 24 hours present and alert. I've never seen, and I always say, people say, oh my, how can you be so hardworking? I said, I learned it from the best. I learned this thing from the best. You can never be enough talented that you don't have to work hard. You have to hustle.
Tell us about your Darbar Sahib visits with your grandmother. Your grandmother's played an amazing role in grooming you. And that is, I think, your budded seeds was fruitioning. Tell us about your grandmother. Very rare that your grandmother plays such a vital role, Vikas.
I think in small towns, grandmothers or grandparents still play a very vital role. I feel that because क्या होता है कि grandmothers, you inherit your culture from grandparents. Parents are still struggling a lot just to make the ends meet. School की फीसें, regular मारामारी life की. Grandparents are so amazing gift from the world, because from God, because they transcend the culture in you. So most of my books you will see, which will have a very deep-rooted culture about starting from Ramayana to Mahabharata to Gurumukhi to Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Everything came from my grandma. She was religious, but she was also extremely spiritual. मतलब जो इतने सालों तक एक रोटी एक्स्ट्रा बनाते हैं, कभी भी घर में गाय आ सकती है. You know, that little thing stuck in my mind. To be from such a small city and living in such a big world, you always said कि एक गाय भी आ सकती है. And extra bread. कि चल गाय नहीं आएगी, चिड़ियाँ तो है ही घर में. Like, this is a real ecosystem. And my grandfather used to tell me that during the partition, how my grandmother played such an important role of feeding so many people who were crossing the borders. So I think that was all, we saw it by example, that how these people lived such a majestic life. So I just feel that I don't live up to their, I still feel, मैं बहुत छोटा काम कर रहा हूँ, but I just feel that keeping the legacy alive of what they stood for, and you know, the freedom, the freedom fighting, the pride of being an Indian, the rituals of the families, everything was so important to me.
And the rotis you were rolling in the Gurdwara, Darbar Sahib?
हाँ जी,
Tell
वो
us
उसका
about
छोटी सी मैंने बुक भी लिखी है, मैजिक रोलिंग पेन, जिसकी I want to tell people, it's a very unique story to tell. And you know, when we were doing the designing the cover of the book, somebody told me in my team, you should put a girl rolling a bread. I said, this war which I have taken is to show equality of cooking. Harimandir Sahib, it has never been a divided duty that only women are going to cook langar. It's from the very beginning. It was not gender divided roles. Seva was not based on the genders. So I figured out कि एक रोटी जो चंद्रमा की तरह पूरे संपूर्ण चंद्रमा की तरह बनाते हैं. I just felt that it gave me so much of happiness and pride that I'm equal and I'm better than everyone. उस टाइम पे तो ये लगता था कि सुपरमैन हुआ है.
And you were rolling and chanting. Tell us about your chanting and your rolling.
Satanam Vaheguru, if you see, you know, when everybody's sitting there, it is so meditative. I feel that our gurus were so brilliant. They figured out a space where people from different parts of life, they are broken or they are successful or accomplished, they all come and they all can give their time to this Sangat. और सतनाम वाहेगुरु चैंट होती जैसे आपने अपनी बातचीत शुरू की है. So that was the only chant which was like constantly, it was, but I figured out that, you know, that institution is so supreme that there's no division of anything, of race, color, creed, financial status, nothing. So that really motivated me to get into this industry. I said, you know, I'm going to take this ethos and apply it to my professional world, where in a restaurant everybody feels that, you know, it's a gift to be coming together.
Yes, I know.
विकास जी, I'm very intrigued by something. आपने इतने ज़्यादा उतार चढ़ाव देखे. You also, आपने हर किस्म के दुखों को पार किया है. You've seen ups and downs.
It's risen like a phoenix every time.
You've had people who have been with you, not wishing you well, you know, to bring you down. हर इंसिडेंट के बाद भी आप ज्यादा प्यार बांटते हैं, आप ज्यादा पॉजिटिव हो जाते हैं, आप ज्यादा शुक्राना करते हैं. ये कहाँ से आता है और आप कैसे करते हैं? क्योंकि when you're down, when you're low, आपका नजरिया जिंदगी की तरफ बहुत अलग हो जाता है, and you see the world, you get to see the world in a very different way. How have you kept yourself always facing the light?
मेरे में गिल्ट भी है. There's a guilt in me, a very strong guilt, which overpowers all the hate or all the vindication which comes in your life. वो मेरे लिए ये है कि at 29 I left home. This is the time you become the man of the family. You take care of your parents, your grandparents, your family, your siblings. That's what you do. I was running a very successful business. और उस टाइम पे मैं सब कुछ छोड़ छाड़ के एक अपनी पर्सनल मोटिव को लेके आई मूव टू यूएस. दोज आर ऑल व्हाट हैपेंस टू मी. आई ऑलवेज मेजर एवरीथिंग बेस्ड ऑन दैट कि उस टाइम पे बिना एक रुपए के भी आप पहुंच के वहाँ पे and you started from a scratch, it's going to be difficult. But one thing which I figured out was that all these emotions are not going to be remembered. What is going to be remembered for the next generation of people who are watching you is that how fast you stood up again every time you fell down. And it was a neck breaking success, I also know that, but it was also neck breaking falls all the time. इतने बड़े बड़े level, I can't talk about many things also, and we are legally bound not to talk about things, but there has been a crazy level of crisis where day after day you saw things change. तो उसमें सिर्फ एक ही चीज़ मेरे को मोटिवेट करती थी कि that guilt which I've carried with me is that I have to make my mom proud. Whatever I do, I have to make her proud. I don't have the privilege of putting my head down on a bed and not getting up from the bed when I should be finding a new job, I should be finding a new project, I should be finding a new business to run it. I just feel कि वो guilt जो थी ना कि mom should feel that ठीक है मैंने बड़ा किया पैदा किया, but look what he's doing in the world for the country. That thing is my motivation, and I hope I stay motivated, and that is my only driving force to constantly stand up. You will never ever see me, which I don't want to show also, that the broken phases. But once you overcome, you talk about it. Yes, we had challenges. We were thrown out from here. We rebuilt the whole thing ourselves again.
You had an incident, tragic incident in New York. You were about to inaugurate a hotel, a restaurant, and you could not inaugurate. Instead, you got into 65 million meals, 65 million Feed India movement. My
Yeah.
God, 65 million Feed India movement. Tell us about this amazing social enterprise. What a miracle you created,
मैंने
Vikas.
नहीं किया, मम्मा ने किया. तो mom must have been watching some television things. So mama and me have a very clear system that we make 2 phone calls to each other. So जब मेरा दिन चढ़ता है और यहाँ पे मम्मा का दिन चढ़ता है, so we have this very clear thing कि सूरज मम्मा मुझे भेजते हैं यहाँ पे अमेरिका में और मैं वापस उनको भेज देता हूँ. So we had this thing for almost 24 years that we've always kept this on. So something we were 2000 and oh my God, this is such a hard chapter of all of our lives. In 2000 and March, I finished MasterChef and I come to America. I was in Boston. So as I'm coming back, there's a huge, big New York Times article about the pandemic, which is about to destroy a lot in the planet. And मेरे को लगा over exaggerated ही क्या हो सकता है. So we were about to sign a lease in Chelsea in New York. And this guy says, did you read the article today? I said, what's the big deal? He's saying, no, this is a real crisis going to happen. Would you hold on for a few months before you sign the lease? मैंने कहा ठीक है. It's fine, let's wait for another month. And by the time April started, the whole world was in crisis. And did not matter how wealthy the country was or how well run the country was, everybody was suffering. I called my mom and I wanted to do something, and mom was watching TV. And मैंने मम्मा को बोला कि मम्मा कहते बहुत ही क्राइसिस चल रहे हैं यहाँ पे India mein, and it's breaking her heart watching television. Similar, at the same time, I get a spam email or some foundation email to say that India is going through a lot of trouble and we would like you to contribute. You're a part of this whole circle of NRIs who get these emails, these newsletters. So I said, okay, I just sent something, and that made me trigger that there's going to be crisis in old age homes, in orphanages, leprosy places where people don't have access now. And donations will be cut off in ashrams and all those things because everybody is so much of surrounded by uncertainty. So I started something small, and I lost the truck. And I told my mom that I wanted to do this, but I'm not going to do this. It's a very tough thing. I'm sitting in New York. I can't run this campaign. I can't even comprehend the idea. And my mom is like, all what you've created in your life, it's all learned from us. Everything you took to America or to the Western world, you learned everything from my country. And that, like, she really literally put that specific and now when the country needs you, you can't run it. So मैंने कहा, Mama, I wanted to ask her, I don't know what happened to you early morning. She must be watching news, she must be affected. She's saying, if somebody can do it, my son can do it. And you've never given up. So you got to stand up. You can't say I can't do it. You fail, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. But I'm not okay with my son telling me that he cannot do this while he has all the resources, all the connection, and he has to step up for this. So we stopped all our businesses. We stopped all publications. Everything stopped for 2 years, and I only focused on Feed India, from food to slippers to sanitary pads to clothes to mitais, because we want to celebrate everything that no one should be left out. It was possibly my life's one of the biggest challenges, but most gratifying too. अभी मेरी आवाज़ choke होती है when I talk about those nights and mornings and time differences, that how we were collecting sponsors, that please help us with this and we need the stuff here. But कई की जगह पे, we were on the cameras, and the NDRF, National Disaster Relief Fund, like the whole
Yes.
force was with me, and this inspector said, "Okay, they want to see you." So I'm like early morning, and it was evening in India, and they showed me, and this lady said, "कि मुझे पता था आप ही हो वो, because I've seen you on TV. आप बोलते बहुत कम हो, but I knew this was you. It was coming from you. That every month we have so much of ration coming, and we don't even know who is sending us sitting abroad."
Right. That's when your mom told you she's given birth to a warrior.
Yeah, she's saying हार छोड़ना नहीं है, हारना मंजूर है, but not giving up. She's saying that should not be in your DNA, especially you, who fought for throughout his life to make a position and to be ahead or to be normal or to be equal to people. He's saying you saying this, that I can't do this. This breaks my heart, and I just feel that that time my moral compass needed to be rebooted. And I still remember how I used entire social media, from Twitter to Facebook to Instagram, to put all these communities from the world together. And every single day I was telling them accountability कि यहाँ पे ये सब हुआ, यहाँ पे ये जा रहा है. So it was something to learn from that during the crisis. It is that it also shows you what fabric you're made of.
That's during the COVID time. So tell us, how did you deliver? Because you're literally giving a message of social entrepreneurship from nothing to everything. 65 million meals being served of food connected, direct transfers, whether it was money or in kind. Tell us more, because this will inspire all of us sitting here overseas.
So a lot people just every time we were on the Zoom calls, people just kept criticizing what's going on in India, because the Western media was flashing this whole thing, and everybody got an opportunity to show the hierarchy of the countries, that what countries. And every time we'll speak to somebody, people said, "Oh, nobody can help right now." I said, "There's always an extra hand which is required." So putting people together was the key. And I just feel that the only successful part of that campaign was understanding one thing very clearly, that everybody wants to help. But some days they need to be inspired to help. So there was a place near Haryana where we were buying godowns of ration, master of grains there. And there was a total lockdown, and we had to cross the borders and bring the stuff. So I got on the phone, and Uncle ji se maine baat ki. So we were on a uh, con call in Allahabad, and I'm in New York, and I don't tell them I'm in New York. So रात के मेरे बजे होंगे 4 साढ़े 4 बजे होंगे, तो मैंने उनको बोला, मैं कि सर, I'll figure out how to pay for this go down, but give me at the cost. I'm not going to be using it, but we're going to find a way. We're still developing a template. Please help me. देखिए, अगर जान ही नहीं बचेगी ना, तो ये गोडाउन्स वगैरह का कोई काम नहीं है. एंड इस थिंक आप हो कौन? आई सेड, मैं आपने शायद मेरे को टीवी पे मास्टर शेफ में देखा होगा या फिर कुछ सुना होगा, तो अगर आप अपनी बीवी से पूछेंगे शायद हो सकता है उनको पता हो, because he had no idea what she was saying. So he called me back and says, मेरी बीवी से बात करें आप. तो he's saying, she said सलाम वालेकुम. She's saying रमज़ान का महीना है, उसमें कोई इतनी बड़ी बात कह रहा है कि अगर हम ही नहीं बचेंगे तो ग्राउंड का क्या करेंगे. मैं क्या आप मेरी हेल्प करेंगे प्लीज़. तो शी इज़ द वन हु रियली इंस्पायर्ड दिस होल थिंग, एंड शी सेड कि हम करेंगे, जो भी हमसे हो सकेगा हम करेंगे. And then we started pitching out to Paytm and sponsors. We got so many people involved. There were funding coming from people who were directly giving these people. So everything was bringing a brick together.
Brilliant.
My sister saw a picture where there were hundreds of people standing in line to have food.
Yes.
And there was a front make ladki thi, she was not wearing slippers. So my sister called me and said, can you do something about the slippers? I said, okay. We called Puma, we called Adidas, we're calling everybody, we're calling local people. Can you please help us? We need slippers. We'll pay you the minimum cost if
Wow.
possible. If you want to donate, it'll be amazing. The
Fantastic.
entire campaign for anyone who's enterprising is based on only one thing, that it does not matter what system you've set up. If you're not personally, emotionally, spiritually invested in it, you cannot make any business successful.
Absolutely. How lovely. So you've given a wonderful clarity, clear message how social entrepreneurship can be spiritualized. How can
Yeah.
it be selfless? How can it have abundance of barakat, as you very rightly said? तो आपने फीड इंडिया में बरकत ही बरकत लाई.
It was, the universe was giving us some messages, Kiranji. The universe was giving us messages. I remember we were reached out by transgender community and sex workers and everybody were reaching out to us, and they say, "Okay, can you help us? Can you do this?" I'm like, okay, मैं क्या आपने बोल दिया, we're gonna figure out. I can't promise till things are reaching because many things were changing. So it was not easy for us to deliver stuff. But Mr. Satya Pradhan is the person who was the head of NDRF. He said, because you have our 100% commitment. He's saying, I am giving you my full word that you will, जहाँ आप बोलोगे सामान उठाना है, कहाँ पे पहुँचाना है, क्या करना है, how to manage this, because I am seeing that how broken you are at this point, and you still keep going.
Yes.
And I see that trolling भी हो रही है आपके, सब कुछ हो रहा है, but you're like नहीं, इस टाइम पे अगर हार मान ली ना, I won't be able to show my mom my face, and I just kept saying that I have to show her my face. I'm doing it
Fantastic.
for her. And that was good. When you say that I'm doing it for myself, there's a chance you might not be able to do it. When you say I'm doing it for her, you become the guardian. You see कि नहीं, कि किसी और की चीज़ अमानत आपके पास आती है, आपको ज़्यादा डर रहता है रात को कि गुम ना
Yeah.
जाए, मेरे साथ चोरी ना हो जाए. So this was like that for me, which came from my mom.
Brilliant. Saina,
जी,
I think we
जी,
need the mom around with us now.
जी,
Don't
जी.
we?
ने पहल्या थोड़ा जिया हुन्ना रब रखा, सबदा रब रखा. आपका दिल जो है वो बहुत ब्लेस्ड है. आप एक छोटी सी हमें बात बता दो, उसके बाद वी वांट टू शो यू योर हार्ट, और फिर हम सारे जो आपको प्यार करते हैं ना, हम आपको बहुत सारे सरप्राइजेस देने वाले हैं, और हम आपके लिए बहुत सारी रौनकें लगाने वाले हैं, क्योंकि आपने बहुत सारे लोगों को रौनकें दी हैं. आप एक छोटी सी बात हमें बताओ. आप रोजा रखते हो अभी भी? एक रोजा
हाँ जी, एक
है ना? जी,
बहुत अच्छा.
12 तारीख को था.
एक
और उसका
रोजा,
रीजन बरकत की बुक में है, जिसको
हाँ,
पढ़ना है पढ़ लीजिए.
एक रोजा रखते हैं. उन्होंने 44 किताबें लिख ली हैं अभी तक. आपने 44?
हाँ जी, पब्लिश 40 हुई है, 44 लिखी है. आई मूव
44.
मच इन एडवांस.
तो रात को सोते नहीं हो, सिर्फ किताब लिखते हो?
नहीं, मैं करता हूँ जी. मैं बताया ना, डिसिप्लिन इज एवरीथिंग.
जी,
People waste too much, and I know some of my chefs I work with, they waste too much time comparing themselves to everyone. वो उसमें ज़्यादा एनर्जी लगाते हैं कि what I can do, कि मैं किसी को गिरा दूँ. I feel that is what I really want. I'm confused with that. They put more energy into things कि उसका भला ना हो, उसका अच्छा. I just feel that if you constantly keep walking,
Oh, nice.
you're going to find a path.
Oh, nice.
Our lives are so well designed by nature that people who say that मुझे नहीं नजर आ रहा कुछ, जिसने जो करना भी करो.
Fantastic.
I'm dedicating myself to this project. We have some amazing projects this year and coming up. Possibly my biggest in life project is coming up this year after 8 years. I keep a promise with my sister for that project, and I just see again, not my project. When I say this is my promise to my sister, she said that एक Indian restaurant ऐसा होना चाहिए जो सारी दुनिया का center हो. And she says,
Wow.
because we come from a culture which is the oldest continuity of even her आवाज हमारी, her अल्फाज हमारा, its continuity of,
Oh,
and that
nice.
restaurant has to prove that to the world.
Wow.
And उसके लिए आप देखेंगे कि how far I can go to represent India's arts, culture, spirituality, food, our traditions, and I really want to do that as my gift to her.
Superb.
उनका उनका
We
प्यार
will
आपके
recommend
साथ
him.
उनका प्यार आपके साथ हमेशा हमेशा है। और अब हम शुरू करते हैं और बहुत सारा प्यार बांटना, ये आधे घंटे में और जितना बांट सकते हैं आपके लिए सारी रौनकें लाते हैं। पहले आपकी प्यारी सी छोटी सी, बहुत बड़ी रौनक है, छोटी सी रौनक नहीं है, आपका हाथ स्पेस छोटी सी रौनक नहीं है, वो बहुत बड़ी रौनक है। अभी दिखाते हैं
That's
आपको।
wonderful. Let's
जी,
see the surprise.
जी।
Wow.
ये रौनक है ना आपकी पहली प्यारी सी रौनक।
The best thing which happened, the best. He's my sister's baby, and I'm.
वो सारा प्यार आपके साथ है, हमेशा रहेगा।
And
The plum is not in your shirt again. It's not hidden here.
नहीं रेस्टोरेंट में तो कोई अलाउड ही नहीं है, पूरा भूत है वो. He's with my mom right now. He's totally disowned me. He met my mom in Bombay when we were shooting. I got him from New York. Then I was shooting Master Chef. And मम्मा को मिला तो then he's like exchange of hearts हो गए बिल्कुल ही उनके. पूरा दिन सीरियल देखते हैं, ड्राइव्स पे जाते हैं दोनों, like inseparable हैं totally.
अच्छा,
She's parenting plum.
हाँ,
Yeah.
तो अब और बहुत सारा प्यार आ जाओ।
There.
आपकी
There my
मम्मा
friend comes.
Oh my
आपकी
god.
मम्मा आ गई।
Hello, Bindu.
आपकी मम्मा आ गई। योर ब्रदर इज देयर।
Hello.
हम भी आ गए।
Hi.
Hello, Bindu. अपना माइक ऑन करो बिंदु.
नमस्ते आंटी जी।
निशु माइक ऑन कर लो.
हाँ.
Hi.
Hi.
One
Hi.
second. Muted from behind. Yeah.
Yes.
Hi.
जी,
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
He's been here since the very beginning, and he's been getting wild looking at Vikas and hearing his voice. He wants to enter the laptop.
And also wants to enter his shirt so that he can be right here.
Yeah.
आंटी जी, आपने कहा था मेरा बेटा उड़ने के लिए पैदा हुआ है, और उसकी जो स्माइल है वो सबसे प्यारी होगी, उसकी स्माइल सबसे प्यारी होगी। उनकी स्माइल में बरकतें ही बरकतें हैं, और आपका प्यार छुपा है उनकी स्माइल में,
इसमें कोई शक नहीं है
ना जी।
मम्मा के पापा कहते थे इसके दांत मोती जैसे हैं. Every day.
बिंदु, ऐसा लड़का पैदा कैसे किया बिंदु? तू और मैं तो एक ही कॉलेज में पढ़े हैं, तुमने ऐसा बढ़िया लड़का कैसे पैदा किया?
देख लो आपके सामने, इसका हार्ड वर्क बड़ा है, ये सेल्फलेस मोटिव से काम करता है, और कभी थका ही नहीं है, कभी खाने का पता ही नहीं कब खाना है, कब क्या करना है, कुछ नहीं इसको पता, खाली काम और सिर्फ काम, एक बस उसको दे दो। उसने पूरा वॉच कर लिया, वो कह रहा मेरे को छोड़ो।
प्लम भाई, बैठना है प्लम।
Say something, please.
प्लम नमस्ते करना है, नमस्ते करना है।
मेरा प्लमी.
So बिंदु, आपने शुरू से इसको सपना दिया, you said my son will be a warrior, तो ही तो वो 65 million फीड इंडिया मूवमेंट में चला। आप जब वो थक रहा था या कह रहा था कैसे करूंगा माम, तुमने कहा मैंने वॉरियर पैदा किया। दिस व्हाट यू सेड?
यस,
बताओ।
एंड ही इज अ वॉरियर, नो डाउट। उससे कोई काम ऐसा नहीं है जो नंबर 2 पे आए, करेगा तो नंबर 1 पे ही आएगा। तो बेशक जो मर्जी हो जाए, ना खाना है, ना पीना है, ना कुछ देखना है, सिर्फ फोकस एक तरफ के काम करना है, और काम को पूरा एंड तक पहुंचा के, जब तक होएगा नहीं तब तक इसने कुछ और नहीं करना।
Tell us about his childhood. Tell us a little bit about his childhood.
आंटी जी ना जनरेटर दी कहानी अगी है। आंटी जी यूज्ड टू गेट वेट, बट वो लाइट देते थे नीचे, आंटी जी वो जनरेटर की आप स्टोरी बताओगी? जब बारिश भी होती थी आप ऑन करते थे जनरेटर
हाँ।
ऊपर।
पर वो छोटा जनरेटर था ना, जब
हाँ
ज्यादा
जी।
लाइट चलने लग जाती थी, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी ज्यादा कंज्यूम होती थी, तो वो ऊपर से ऑफ हो जाता था। फिर वहीं ऊपर उसको बार बार ऑन करना पड़ता था, जनरेटर छोटा था। दिस हाउ वी स्टार्टेड लॉरेंस गार्डन।
जी।
और इसकी बहुत कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन है, बहुत ज्यादा। इसने आके तो उसको ऐसा खड़ा कर दिया कि लोग कहाँ, एक किटी पार्टी होती थी एक ही टाइम पे, और 20-20, 25-25 रोज फंक्शंस, ये वो सारा दिन यही करता रहता। और जो फंक्शन इसने किए हैं, आज तक लोग नहीं भूले। मेरे को लॉन्च गार्डन बंद किए भी 10-15 साल हो गए, अभी भी रोज लोग आते हैं बुकिंग के लिए कि हमारा बुक कर लो। मैंने कहा जी मैंने बंद कर दिया है। कहते फिर हम कहाँ जाएं? मैं दैट इज नॉट माई प्रॉब्लम।
That is when you had the Lawrence Garden.
हाँ
यस।
जी।
हाँ, लॉरेंस रोड पर था ये, अमृतसर में लॉरेंस रोड पर था, इसलिए लॉरेंस गार्डन।
या
हाँ
और
जी।
कमाल विकास ने बहुत चलाया, उसको बहुत आगे ले गया था। पर फिर इसको, इसकी लगन कुछ और थी, वहां से ये कोई जो अब काम कर रहा है वो नहीं हो सकता था। तभी ये छोड़ के
Yeah.
खाली हाथ गया। He didn't have $1 with him. इमीडिएटली राधिका आई थी मेरी बेटी, इसको लेने एयरपोर्ट, उसी दिन इसको जॉब पे लगा दिया था, उसी टाइम।
काम, इसने अपनी रोटी कमानी शुरू कर दी।
हाँ जी, बहुत
देखो जी
काम।
उनकी और देखो जी देखो।
Oh, you my friend
Oh
Rita
my
Arora.
God.
Yeah, Rita. Hi, Rita.
Hi, Rita Masi.
Hi,
Hi.
hi, Beta. How are you?
Oh my God, what time is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's what, 8:30? Yep,
Oh
8:30.
wow.
Rita
Yeah.
is from Iowa.
Good
How
morning,
nice,
Masi.
Rita. Great to see you after years and years and years.
I know, right? See, people like him combine hearts from all over. That
Yes.
past, future.
So I know Vikas is your godson. Tell us about your godson.
Well, what I have seen, I've seen him grow up, over the years. Every year I used to go, he's a splitting image of his mom. And when I speak about Vikas, I speak about the mom. And she, if you have a soulmate, she's mine. And, I've never seen her angry. I've always seen her happy in the worst circumstances. And, these are the emotions that transcend boundaries. I mean, countries, boundaries, they mean nothing. There's never been a day where we haven't been able to just open up our hearts and talk about everything. It's just he has the same thing. No envy, no fear. Absolutely. And they both have the same thing, exactly the same thing. In our younger days, I remember college days. We are all from the same college, all three of us. So I remember her just going out there and doing whatever needed to be done. If we had a problem, she solved it. And it was it's just been a journey. And to see him flower and prosper and be so close to her, I'm sure she feels like her dreams are fulfilled. All her kids are just wonderful.
What's your first memory about Vikas? What's your first memory of Vikas?
I don't know
Because you
whether
think
Vikas
and grow.
remembers this or not, but I was visiting once and he had just started Lawrence Garden. And my husband is a Sikh, so he ties a turban. Vikas, do you remember that?
I have.
Yeah, so Vikas called him up and said, and my husband is he's a professor, so he's kind of dry a little bit, whatever. But there was a bond that day when Vikas asked him, could you help us tie the turbans for our waiters? We have this special
Yes,
event.
okay.
We spent the whole day there. So there is love knows no boundaries. I mean, for me, he's as dear as my daughter. It's that family and me. There's a connection over there that only the Lord can explain.
Absolutely. But for me, one of the greatest moments were you coming to New York to launch my Holy Kitchens.
Yes, I have to tell you this story. So it was his mom. Was it her birthday or there was some special occasion? So he calls me and he wanted to surprise his mom. So
Yeah.
he said, I'm giving you short notice. Can you come? I said, I'll be there. No problem. And we went and we stayed. And it is a very, very sweet memory. It's, after that, he's just gone on to one thing and been really busy. But that was really good time we spent together. 3-4 days almost.
Yeah, 4
Yeah.
days.
Vikas, tell us about Holy Kitchens. I think that's a great name. What's the concept?
So I don't know if anybody remembers. In 2010 there's a shooting in Gurdwara in Wisconsin in America, and it really broke my heart. Truly broke my heart. I if something breaks my heart, I will hold on to it and I'll find a solution. Well, people have talked about it, prayers have gone, and people have gone. So I said, we need to create something which creates awareness of people. We need to create so that they know who Sikhs are. And for me, there's nothing more exemplary than to explain to me for Sikhism than Seva. So we said, okay, let's do a documentary called Holy Kitchens, a whole series, and in which we showcase the world the true power of Sikhism, of Sacha Sauda, it was called, True Business. And that time, President Obama was the seated president. So we got opportunities to showcase it at the White House, to Ivy League colleges, to Oxford. I was invited possibly everywhere to showcase 30 minutes of documentary that why in every faith it is always about unity. It is always about the table of grace. And there's nothing more which explains Sikhism for me than Seva. So एक छोटा सा idea था. It kept going on and on. Then we did Hinduism, Sikhism, Islam, Buddhism. We did all the parts of the chapters of it. And, I'm not a trained filmmaker. I've just like out of passion I do this. But that time it was so important for me that Holy Kitchens became our way of telling people who we are.
And what about the buried seeds?
There is a filmmaker from Russia. His name is Andrei Saverny. So he reached out to me and says, Chef, you have the most unique immigrant story in America. So is there a way we can document it? And we said, I want to document it only if you give me permission to go and speak to your mom. Mama, remember? Mama, याद है? Andre वगैरह सब आए थे शूट करने आपका. So he has footage of Mama telling things which I've never heard. I don't remember much of things. Mama is telling everything about that how she fixed my teeth and how she fixed my feet. She's the whole. But he did this film, and which was at Venice International Film Festival, which was shown in many American schools about that एक छोटे से बीज को has to be buried before they flourish into a plant and a tree. So you have to go through darkness. So how we demonize darkness, but we also see that darkness is something which actually helps to bring light.
Ji does. And Baba ji keeps saying सब तेरा. Baba ji सब तेरा. अच्छा, अब थोड़ा सा और प्यार और रॉन के, but ये वाली रॉन के यार in a video because they couldn't join us, तो ये रॉन के. अब आप एक और वीडियो देखो.
It's a recorded. So we recorded it, is it? Let's hear it.
हम स्कूल में इकट्ठे थे, विकास और मैं, और क्योंकि बचपन में हम बहुत ही शाय नेचर के थे, हमारी दोस्ती हो गई. हम क्लास में इकट्ठे बैठते थे और रिसेस में हम टिफिन शेयर करते थे. मेरा टिफिन बहुत स्टैंडर्ड होता था, अंडे वाली ब्रेड या मलाई वाली ब्रेड, पर विकास के टिफिन में वैरायटी होती थी तो इसका ज्यादा टिफिन मैं ही खा जाता था. आज विकास अपनी ही अलग लीग में है, बट ही स्टिल रिमेन्स अ वेरी गुड फ्रेंड. अभी रिसेंटली मेरी किताब पब्लिश हुई, विकास अमृतसर में था, मैंने मिलने के लिए कहा तो इसने मेरे लिए टाइम निकाल लिया, हालांकि बहुत बिजी था उस टाइम पे. ही इज अ ट्रू फ्रेंड.
My name is Vikram Sehgal. Vikas is my school friend. He was extremely talented from school days only. And he, being at such great heights, he never forgot his roots. This is what I love about him. And I will call him King Chef because he blends his friends, family, and his fans beautifully. And as you always say, Rab Rakha. Wish you all the best, buddy.
Hello, I'm Shweta Sehgal. To me, Mr. Vikas is a galore of talent. His amazing commitment to perfection and his quality work has given him the heights which are beyond compare in this world. He's a star for us. We are proud. And he is a true culinary artist. he has showcased India's cuisine, India's rich culture, India's heritage on such great global platform through his books, movies, documentaries, and so on. I wish you good luck, Vikas. So happy for you.
हेलो विकास सर। विकास सर जब भी मिलते हैं बड़े प्रेम से बड़े स्नेह से मिलते हैं और बड़ा कुछ सीखने को मिलता है उनसे। अब जैसे कोविड के दौर में उन्होंने इतना सारा काम किया, मतलब उनसे ये सीखने को मिलता है कि परिस्थिति चाहे कैसे भी हो लेकिन आपको अपना काम करते रहना चाहिए। कुमार विश्वास का एक शेर भी है कि हवा का काम है जलना, दिए का काम है जलना, वो अपना काम करती है, मैं अपना काम करता हूँ।
Vikas, it's been 35 years since we have known each other, and I must say that you haven't changed a wee bit even after achieving so much success in your life. और आज भी तू वैसे ही खुल के हंसता है जैसे तू हंसा करता था। और तुझे याद होगा तेरी इसी हंसी ने हमें कई बार मरवाया क्लास में, कई बार जूते भी पड़े हैं। और मैं आज भी वो हंसी तेरी मिस करता हूँ। जब भी हम मिलते हैं तो जरूर हम लोग वो मोमेंट शेयर करते हैं। मैं चाहता हूँ तो ऐसे ही जिंदगी में हंसता रहे, मुस्कुराता रहे और तरक्की कर और इंडिया का नाम रोशन करे।
Nice, how nice, how nice.
आप your true friends, your love. Yeah. जी जी.
So Vikas, how do you feel getting this kind of a feedback all the time from everywhere?
Overwhelming hota hai, you know, because we also have to consider the fact that, you know, me and Rita Masi will agree that we are people living in diaspora. We left everything which was familiar to us to find a new world. And people don't give so much credit to immigrants, but it takes a lot of courage to stand on your feet, you know. और मैंने बहुत ही consciously ना अपना accent बदला, of course English सीखी, सब कुछ किया, but मेरे को बहुत conscious decision था कि my food and the representation of the culture shouldn't look fabricated. So when I meet these friends, it's for मुझे, I just feel that for Rana is my best friend in the world, and Rana अभी भी WhatsApp पे सुबह कुछ joke हंसाने के लिए, and he knows it that I live a very stressful life, you know. However, he put this face on that everything is good. It's a very stressful life, and you're dealing with so many countries and governments and doing work and businesses. But Rana knows how to. It doesn't care about what's going on. You have to keep laughing. And for me to connect back in this way, it's priceless. वो डोर टूटनी नहीं चाहिए. I just feel वो डोर टूट जाती है बहुत NRIs की. वो डोर टूटनी नहीं चाहिए. Somehow I feel that is India for us, and I think because that gives me the strength also on the weekdays. You know, I have to keep fighting. We have to cross many more bridges till we can say that we run the world's most important cuisine. एक दुनिया में सिर्फ एक cuisine है, तो पूरी दुनिया में हजारों cuisine में से एक cuisine है, which is based on the fundamentals of health, nourishment, spirituality. Only one. Like, you know, why did India had so much of research of our food and Ayurveda and the foundation खाने में क्या चीज़ कब जाती है, इसका क्या, you know, what is the effect on the body and mind for everything, and to be representing that in a small way, I just feel that because you're connected to everyone, this gives you the courage that you got to keep moving forward.
What did your grandmother tell you, Vikas? Share with us when you got that award, that International Chef Award. What did your grandmother tell you?
Michelin. So yes. For any chef, like for any actor, it's the Oscars. For any player, it's Olympics, you know, gold medal. For any chef in the world, it is Michelin. So Michelin Tires वाली जो कंपनी है, उन्हीं का एक गाइड है, बहुत 100 साल से ऊपर पुरानी गाइड है। तो उसमें when we were chefs and we were trying to get jobs in international restaurants, we were always told कि, you know, Indians are not chefs, they are cooks. You know, आप लोग आओ, हमारी help करो, kitchen साफ करो, delivery करो, store management करो, but you're not cut to cook. Because that time Michelin had not endorsed us. It's like the Oscars for Indians, right? Or gold, Olympic golds. So I think because I told my grandmom that, you know, एक award ऐसा सिर्फ गोरों को मिलता है वो, और हमें कॉलेज में पढ़ाया जाएगा सिर्फ ताकि उनको award मिले. You know, so we have working hard and learning all these things so that those people get awards, and we are not even mentioned anywhere. So she's saying she remembered it. So when I told her when I got the Michelin for the first time on October 5th, 2011, so I called her and said, "Biji, तुम्हें याद है?" Biji कहते मैंने सब कुछ याद है. And, you know, I kept my commitment to her, and she passed away after 6 weeks.
And what did she tell you? Tell you about, you've written in the book.
Biji ने क्या कि ताज जो है ना, ताज ना 24 घंटे सिर ते नहीं पांदे, पेट टूट जाती है. which is so amazing wisdom. Okay, if you are so weighed down by your achievements, you're going to never find a new mountain to climb, because this is going to weigh you down and you're going to break your back. तो पीछे की जो बात थी ना, कभी भूला नहीं. When I was writing that line also, my editor asked me, he said, "You really want to put this?" I said, "This line is so powerful, you're not understanding. That people who are wealthy, they put that so much, it weighs on them. And they don't want to think anything beyond that." I said, she told me to keep going forward. You have too many mountains to climb. You're not going to stop here. So I think that was what wisdom, and I'm fortunate that even 1,000 times I'm born on this planet, I want my same family.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. Reborn, give me the same family back. God, if I'm reborn, give me my same mom, dad, grandmother, brothers, sisters, and friends back. Isn't it? That's what your wish is, Vikas, is it?
पर मैं चाहता हूँ मेरी बहन अगली बार ना लाइफ में मेरे से थोड़ी बड़ी हो, ताकि वो फिर मुझे हक से मार सके. वो छोटी थी, मुझे मारती थी, तो अगर छोटी बहन से मार खाता है, I want वो अगले जन्म में मेरी बड़ी बहन. That's the only change I want to make.
Oh, wonderful.
अच्छा, थोड़ा और प्यार देखिए. We have one more with you. थोड़ा सा और प्यार.
Another one. Wow, Saina.
Chachu has taught me how to be true to yourself and how to never let go of your identity wherever in the world you are. He's taught me to remain true to myself and to keep coming back to my roots and to never lose focus of what's important to me.
I've known Vikas for the last 25 years. It's been a beautiful journey. I've seen him grow on from a small chef to a master. The journey has its own up and down. He's grown with that journey, but has become a motivation and inspiration and made us all very, very proud. I have learned so many things. An amazing person. I wish him all the best in all his future. His willpower, his focus. You give him any task and he knows the way to do it. I don't know, God, he's been blessed. And may he get all that energy to achieve all that he wants. Love you, Victor, for everything.
Nice.
That's blessed. पिताजी ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਬਾਤ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋਗੇ? How do you feel?
You ask me?
No, I'm telling Vikas ji's nephew. आंटी जी, हाँ बच्चे, सी गल करोगे? हाँ जी.
Hello, Mamu.
Hi, बच्चे, क्या हाल है?
All good. How are you? I came to Palanpur when I was so small. I don't even remember, and now I'm seeing you after so many years online.
You're growing up to be a beautiful man.
Are you going to follow your Mamu's footsteps?
No, but it's really an inspiration for us all, and we are so impressed and glad. And we see his books, we see his movies, and we're just awestruck. I mean, like, everybody loves it, and then we hear such good reviews, and we enjoy reading his books, his movies, everything. So he's just an inspiration for us all, and we are very proud of him. And I'm very proud that he's my mamu. So, like, we even tell to my friends, and they're like, "Oh, really? He's your mamu?" And I'm like, "Yes." So,
blessed बेटा, blessed. आंटी जी, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ किस तरह लग रहा है सब कुछ?
मैं तो जमीन पे बैठी हूँ, मैं तो लगता है पता नहीं दुनिया से आ गई हैं. Any honor, enna प्यार, enna सारा कुछ मिल रहा है. I can't get
blessed.
हमेशा मिलता है.
It's a very blessed family.
हमेशा
very blessed individuals. Very blessed.
And how's the godmother feeling?
Oh, great. Awesome. Just to hear him is music to my ears. You know, he has a voice, a soul that I think just appeals to everybody. I have friends my age that keep asking me, if you know him, how come he doesn't come? Because they are his admirers too. Like, so one of these days, Vikas, you need to make
Vikas ji, jao.
The honest truth. I have a friend that absolutely adores him, and she keeps saying, "You say you know him, but how come we can't get to meet him?" I said, one of these days you will.
Eat his food. Go to his restaurant, eat his food.
Oh, they have been. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. Gagan, remember Geeta and
Of
Manoj?
course, I remember everyone.
Yeah, their brother just recently went down. It's an amazing restaurant. It's I think, was that your first big venture, Janoon?
Yeah, first
Yes.
big of that magnitude.
Yes, and it was so well thought out. Like, I don't remember the food, I don't remember, but I remember all of Vikas's thoughts when he was taking it through. It was a journey of, his artistry is just visible there. It's just beautiful.
I
So,
need everybody's blessings. Masi, you have to come November to New York. I'll give you a surprise.
I would love to send me the
November.
information.
Yeah.
I need all your blessings. My biggest two ventures come out this year end. My new restaurant in New York and my movie with Shivana Azmi, which also
Yes.
glorifies Indian food and talks about that what it takes for Indian chefs to be on the main ground, not just working for white chefs or other chefs, but to be on their own, they are enough. My most important message to culinary schools is this, that we need our children to be more proud and more focused on Indian cuisine because they are representing 1/3 of the planet. You can't be apologetic of how your food is and what you do. You got to. मेरे को लगता है बहुत ज़रूरी एक message है which comes with this rise and fall story that किरण जी आप मानेंगे नहीं, जब हम कॉलेज में पढ़ते थे तो we were never taught Indian food. We were only taught continental cuisine or European or American foods.
That's right.
Nothing, no even history of Indian food.
Yeah.
And for the last more than 15 years, I put my foot down that every college should have a culinary center for Indian food. If you're not training our kids, how will they be the future winners of Michelin stars?
Perfect.
You want them to get Olympic gold, but you also need to train them, right?
Absolutely.
You can't just say they can get it because it's a better DNA. No, you have to all train. And I feel that new venture becomes a landmark to train these chefs. I feel that as a culinary and cultural center of India. And I feel that mujhe wo, as a big, I'm saying, that's a big gift to my sister. I have to do this. And I need everybody's blessings to see that place belongs to each one of us. I'm just a guide.
You're truly the Indian ambassador of culinary art. I think skills for the rest of the India as a whole, which is the largest democracy of the world today, most populous democracy of the world today. What more? Look where you're taking it forward. Whole field is going to be eating out of your hands, I bet.
Thank you.
Ma bless you. Toda te sara kam is glorifying the country. Your entire everything is glorifying the country. Thoda ਹੋਰ ਪਿਆਰ, ਹੋਰ blessings, ਹੋਰ ਪਿਆਰ. Let's. And Jinnah Sara, we could compact, we've done that. More pyar.
Yes. You got some more?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Chef. I know that when you'll see this video, most probably I'll be sitting next to you or I'll be around. But yes, I wanted to say something that you are very special. And it is indeed a wonderful experience and a matter of great pride for me that I get to work with you, Chef. You have always been very inspirational, humble and insightful to me. Not many people have this privilege to work with you, Chef. With the kind of stature, position and fame what you have, I consider myself really fortunate to gain this opportunity in my life to stand alongside with you in a professional kitchen. Learning from you, working with you, is a matter of totally big pride for me. You are an exceptional mentor, inspiration, and a guide to me. To remain so grounded, so generous, so humble, despite all that you have achieved in your life, is what makes you special and an icon. I have a lot of memories to share with everyone working with you, but especially when we created the Kinara menu and we locked ourselves for 1 month to do the practicals, to do the plating. That period was very, very special to me, and it will always remain special, and I will always cherish those moments. Wish you all the very best, Chef. God bless you with more success, good health and happiness. Keep smiling. Thank you.
Love from all directions to you, Vikas.
Ashish is sitting right behind there.
Oh, that's great. So mommy's blessings, look at that. Hey, that's lovely. That's fantastic.
नालायक ने बताया नहीं मेरे को.
आपको पता है ये इंटरनेट के बिकॉज ऑफ दिस इशू हमको पूरा आपके रेस्टोरेंट का टूर मिल गया आज.
Yes.
आपको अपने रेस्टोरेंट का टूर दे दिया.
मेरा नहीं है हमारा.
आपको ये जो आज प्यार है ना, आई वांट टू से समथिंग मेरे मन में आए. ऐसे हम लेते हैं ना रोटी लंगर में, इनसे रोटी लेते हैं ना, आपके हाथ ना हमेशा ऐसे रहते हैं रब के सामने, इसीलिए वो इसमें प्यार डाली जा रही है. आपके हाथ ना हमेशा उनके सामने ऐसे रहते हैं, इसीलिए वो प्यार डाली जा रही है. और ये प्यार वो हमेशा डालते रहेंगे. माँ की कृपा से ये प्यार आपके इन हाथों में डलता रहे. थोड़ा सा और प्यार दिखा देते हैं. इट्स एन ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम, 1 घंटे में पूरा करना है, अदरवाइज वी कैन गो ऑन एंड ऑन. और प्यार दिखाते हैं, ऐसे वाला प्यार, ऐसा और प्यार.
विकास ने कहा था कि प्रसाद दोनों हाथ से लेना. इसने कहा है प्रसाद जब भगवान तो दोनों हाथ से लो, एक से मत लो, दोनों से लो. एंड ही सेड मैं जब छोटा था मैं रुक जाता था ताकि मुझे कड़ा प्रसाद ज्यादा मिले. यू वेरी स्मार्ट बॉय.
But so much observation in those little things, right?
Yeah, the fantastic observation which you recalled.
जी. एक और वीडियो दिखाएं, फिर हम एक और वीडियो दिखाएं.
I am Anil Mehra, Vikas Khanna's Mausa from Dehradun. I must relate one incident way back in mid-90s when my daughter was getting married in Kanpur. On the wedding day, in the evening, when the barat was about to arrive, I found my shoes were very dirty. And there was no way I could get them polished. Somehow, Viku, that is how everybody lovingly calls him at home, he saw my predicament. He told me that he will go to the market, get the shoes polished and bring them back in no time. Time passed, the barat about to come and no sign of my shoes. I am pacing here and there, just waiting for my shoes. But somehow, I managed to go to another room and I find in a corner, in a dark corner, this young lad was polishing my shoes. He probably couldn't find a mochi, so he purchased a polish and a brush and started doing the job himself. That is Vikas Khanna for you.
And not comparable.
और सारा प्यार है, बहुत सारा प्यार आ रहा है अभी.
सारी मम्मी दे संस्कार, मेरी सहेली दे संस्कार, बिंदु दे संस्कार. All my credit goes to my friend.
आंटी जी, ਹੁਣ ਹੋਰ प्यार आ रहे हैं, उन दो और प्यार. रौनका ही रौनका.
मैं विकास की मासी अंजू देहरादून से बोल रही हूँ. मैं विकास के बारे में ये बताना चाहती हूँ कि विकास कितना हम्बल और डाउन टू अर्थ है. पिछले साल वो हमारे घर आया, हमारी मेड ने उसको नमस्ते करके विश किया. उसने उस मेड को गले से लगाया और उसके पाँव छुए. विकास किसी में फ़र्क नहीं समझता, अमीर गरीब बड़ा छोटा, वो हर इंसान की बहुत इज्जत करता है और बुजुर्गों की बहुत रिस्पेक्ट करता है. मैं यही बताना चाहती हूँ.
विकू को मैं बचपन से जानती हूँ. विकू के जैसा कोई इंसान नहीं है दूसरा दुनिया में. विकू बचपन से सबकी बहुत सेवा करता है और इस सबकी बहुत इज्जत मान करता है. इसके जैसा कोई नहीं है. इसके ऊपर सबका बहुत आशीर्वाद है, इसीलिए आज ये यहाँ तक पहुँचा.
मेन मासियाँ.
आंटी जी
You give the whole philosophy how you can groom a child and continue to make the child grow and contribute and flourish. You see, the mother, Bindu, has given the grandmother and the mother, to my mind, the architects of you, Vikas, and then you, the fruits, and how you continue to distribute the fruits and send the seeds around, that a whole fruit bane. This is what you're doing in all your life. And the credit goes to my friend, Bindu. Kyo, Bindu? Lovely. What a joy meeting you, Vikas. We'll keep hearing about you, and may you continue to remain blessed the way you are. More and more crowns come to you, more and more crowns, and you keep positioning the crowns so that the head remains light, but you have more crowns in your cupboard.
How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling with all this love? Because it's from all over the world. Your loved ones have come here to shower all this love for you.
I'm really very honored. We also have a house-packed dinner service, so I can see my kitchen panicking at the same time. We was arguing that my duty is karma, and I figured out that when you're getting people to your restaurant, when they come in, we should be able to show them India with so much pride. When the doors open in the evening, and we're lighting the restaurant, the lamps, the kitchens. Sorry, this is too much, but I have continued one thing, that every place I've opened a restaurant or catering company or anything, my mom comes to light the first stove.
That's lovely.
और जहाँ मेरी मम्मा ने लाइट किया वो स्टोव, रेस्टोरेंट कभी बंद नहीं हुआ.
बहुत अच्छा.
उसमें बरकत ही बरकत थी. And I want to finish on that all the people, our family values are what makes us Indians the most important. Otherwise, you'll just be another country. The reason we are not another country, we are India, is because of what has been ingrained in us. That even in disparity, even in so much of pain and loss, it is just the family who just stands shoulder to shoulder with us. And there's never been a value system in any part of the world like this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
Meer Sada Rahe. Vaheguru Di Meer Sada Rahe.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Remain blessed. Thank you, Bindu.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, family. Thank you, Vikas. It was very, very, very valuable time for us.
So much.
निशान जी, आप चले गए थे, आप कुछ कहेंगे प्लीज? निशान जी.
I'm very much here. Viku has been an inspiration for everybody in the family. It's not only the youngers, it's for the elders too. I believe his value system is so strong. As a matter of fact, mom has always, drilled into us a very strong value system. BG and mummy both. That has always been a forte. And I still remember Viku's obsession with Scrabble. Viku, you remember Sundabo?
Yeah. Memorize the whole.
My boa taught us Scrabble, and this guy got so obsessed by Scrabble, he defeated her. That was like this perfectionist attitude of his. He has been always there, from the very beginning. He's been always differently abled. I always feel that. Not like the regular kids. We were all together, but his ability to master everything, whatever he would lay his hands on, has always been absolutely incredible. She's not able to get me, I guess. So. Okay. Thank you so much for inviting us all. Thank you, Viku. Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Vikas is a multi-talented person. Apart from his culinary talent, he writes well, he paints very well, and above all, he's a very focused character. Even after gaining so much of name and fame on the international level, he remains down to earth, and this humility is his trump card for achieving boundless heights.
Your प्यार था हमारे वीडियो का.
Abundance. देखा आज बरकत ही बरकत आई ना दोबारा. Vikas.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, you invite बरकत.
Your प्यार था.
I needed this today.
जी ये हमेशा आपके साथ रहेगा, माँ की
You
कृपा
have our
से
prayers
हमेशा
and blessings with you.
And I'm
So many
just sitting
blessings
here
blessings.
feeling so honored to be just included in this family. You know, by default, I'm included in the family, and I feel really great.
Thank you, Rita, for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Vikas. God bless you.
जी हमारी ऑडियंसेस का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया जुड़ने के लिए। आपको अगले महीने मिलेंगे।
Thank you.
अपना
बहुत
सर जी जी
सत श्री अकाल।
सर हमेशा झुका के रखिए, हाथ ऐसे रखिए और खूब शुक्राना करते जाइए। मिलेंगे आपसे अगले महीने।
Bye-bye.
जी जी
Thank you.